Do you think you know everything about cloves? Well, you might be surprised. Welcome to the aromatic world of cloves. These tiny, unassuming buds pack a punch in flavor and aroma that's hard to match, making them a staple in kitchens worldwide. But as with any spice, there's a right way and a wrong way to use them. Today we'll explore some common mistakes you may be making with cloves and how to avoid them. Let's dive right into the first mistake: using cloves without understanding their potency. Cloves are incredibly potent, and their strong, sweet, and somewhat bitter flavor can easily overpower a dish if used in excess. Have you ever experienced a dish where the taste of cloves was all you could detect? That's a telltale sign of cloves overuse. While it's true that their unique flavor can enhance a dish, using too much can lead to a bitter taste that's far from pleasant. It's like a symphony orchestra. Each instrument contributes to the overall performance, but what if the tuba player decides to go full blast, drowning out every other instrument? The result would be a cacophony of sound, not the harmonious music we were expecting. That's exactly what happens when you overuse cloves in your cooking. The solution? Measure, measure, measure. When it comes to cloves, a little goes a long way. Start with a small amount, then add more if needed. Remember, you can always add, but you can't take away. And here's another tip: whole cloves are less potent than ground ones. So if you're new to cooking with cloves, or if you're preparing a dish with a delicate flavor, consider using whole cloves. You can remove them easily after cooking, which allows you to control the flavor more effectively. Remember, a little goes a long way when it comes to cloves. So the next time you're in the kitchen, don't let the size of these tiny buds fool you. Use them wisely, and your taste buds will thank you. Stay tuned as we continue to explore more common mistakes with cloves in the next scenes. The second mistake is one that even experienced cooks sometimes make. Yes, we're talking about the storage of cloves. You see, cloves are a bit like the vampires of the spice world. They prefer the cool, the dark, and the dry. This is because they are incredibly sensitive to heat, light, and moisture, all of which can rapidly degrade their flavor and potency. Now you might be thinking, well, I keep my cloves in the kitchen cabinet, that's cool, dark, and dry enough, right? Wrong. When we say cool, we mean it. Cloves should be kept at a temperature below room temperature. That kitchen cabinet? It's likely warmer than you think, especially if it's situated near a heat source like the stove or the oven. And darkness? It's not enough to simply shut the cabinet door. Cloves are sensitive to even small amounts of light. For this reason, it's best to store them in a dark-colored or opaque container, not a clear glass jar where light can easily penetrate. As for dryness, it's essential to keep your cloves away from any sources of moisture. This includes the steam from your cooking or even the humidity in the air. Moisture can cause your cloves to clump together and lose their flavor. So where should you store your cloves? A pantry or a cellar is ideal, but if you don't have one, a dark, cool cupboard away from any heat sources will do. And remember, always keep them in an airtight container. This will protect them from moisture and also prevent their strong aroma from permeating other food items. In essence, think of your cloves as a delicate artifact that needs to be preserved. They are not just another spice to be tossed in the cabinet. They require careful storage to maintain their unique flavor and potency. So, if you've been keeping your cloves above the stove or in a sunny spot, it's time to find a new home for them. Now, on to our third mistake. Here's something that might surprise you. Many of us are guilty of this one, using ground cloves instead of whole cloves. It's easy to see why this happens. Ground cloves are convenient, ready to use, and let's be honest, they save us a lot of time and effort. But here's the catch: ground cloves can lose their flavor quickly. You see, cloves are like small, flavor-packed parcels. The moment they're ground and exposed to air, they start to lose their potency. It's like opening a present before the party. You're spoiling the surprise. In the case of cloves, that surprise is the unique, warm, and aromatic flavor that they bring to our dishes. Now you might be thinking, but I use my ground cloves quickly, they don't have time to lose their flavor. Well, even if you're using them up at a good pace, ground cloves simply don't pack the same punch as their whole counterparts. It's a bit like comparing fresh squeezed orange juice to concentrate. Sure, they both taste like orange, but one definitely has a richer, more vibrant flavor. So, what's the solution? It's simple. Grind your own cloves when needed. This way, you're only exposing the amount you need to the air, preserving the rest of your cloves and their flavor. It might take a little more time and effort, but trust us, your taste buds will thank you. Now, we're not saying you should toss out your ground cloves right away. They do have their place, especially when you're in a pinch or when the dish doesn't hinge on the flavor of the cloves. But when it comes to dishes where the clove flavor is front and center, it's worth it to go that extra mile and grind your own. So the next time you're tempted to reach for that jar of ground cloves, think again. We're down to our last 2 mistakes, and these are big ones. Let's dive straight into the 4th one. Cloves are a potent spice with a distinctive flavor that can make or break a dish. One common blunder is using cloves in the wrong dishes. The strong, sweet, and slightly bitter taste of cloves doesn't complement every dish. For instance, adding cloves to a light pasta sauce or a delicate fish dish may overpower the subtle flavors and result in an unbalanced taste. Contrarily, cloves do exceptionally well in rich and hearty dishes. Think about your winter favorites like pumpkin pie, hearty stews, or spiced hot beverages. Their warm, aromatic flavor infuses beautifully and adds depth to these dishes. So, the next time you're cooking, remember that cloves are not a one-size-fits-all spice. Now, on to the 5th and final mistake: overlooking the health benefits of cloves and not incorporating them into a balanced diet. Yes, you heard it right. Cloves are not just a kitchen staple, but they're also a powerhouse of health benefits. Packed with antioxidants, cloves can help your body fight off harmful free radicals, reducing your risk of chronic diseases. They're also known to have antimicrobial properties, meaning they can help stop the growth of microorganisms like bacteria. And if you've ever wondered why cloves are a common ingredient in natural toothpaste, it's because they can help fight gum diseases. But this doesn't mean you should start eating cloves by the handful. Like any other spice, they should be used in moderation. You can add them to your meals or even steep them in your tea for a healthful twist. Remember, the key is balance. Incorporating a variety of spices, including cloves, into your diet can contribute to a rich array of flavors and health benefits. So, before you dismiss cloves as just another spice, consider the health benefits they offer. Let's wrap things up and revisit the 5 mistakes we discussed today. Firstly, we talked about the error of using too much cloves in your dishes. While cloves are a potent spice with a rich, warm, and sweet flavor, using them in excess can overpower the taste of your dishes. The key is to use them sparingly and to always remember that a little goes a long way. Secondly, we discussed improper storage of cloves. Storing cloves incorrectly can lead to them losing their aroma and flavor. It's crucial to store them in an airtight container, in a cool, dark, and dry place. This way they maintain their potency and stay fresh for a longer time. Our 3rd point focused on the mistake of using ground cloves instead of whole ones. Ground cloves lose their flavor more quickly than whole ones and hence are less potent. Whenever possible, opt for whole cloves and grind them as and when needed. This will ensure that you get the most out of your cloves in terms of flavor and aroma. The 4th mistake was using cloves in the wrong dishes. Cloves have a distinct flavor that doesn't blend well with all types of food. They are best suited for hearty dishes, baked goods, and beverages. Using them in the wrong dishes can result in an unpleasant taste, so it's important to understand their flavor profile and use them appropriately. Finally, we talked about not including cloves in a balanced diet. Cloves are packed with nutrients and have numerous health benefits, from aiding digestion to improving bone health. However, they should be part of a balanced diet and not relied on as a sole source of nutrition. Remember, understanding and using cloves correctly can elevate your dishes and contribute to a healthier diet. So don't let these mistakes cost you.